Congress is now talking about Social Security, but not in the way that we want. Got some really important updates when it comes to Social Security. Actually kind of shocking. Here are the latest headlines. Major cuts to Social Security back on the table. What's being proposed? Conservatives' budget plan renews battle over seniors' benefits. And House Republicans propose higher Social Security retirement age and Medicare privatization. And House GOP panel's budget proposal would destroy Social Security as we know it. So got some really shocking headlines, some really big updates when it comes to Social Security. I'm gonna let you know exactly what details these are, give you all the updates, give you all the information, and let you decide how bad it is actually going to be for Social Security. I also have some really important footage from the Senate floor in Congress from a Senate Republican talking about Social Security and what needs to be done.
Beneficiaries will see a 24% cut in the amount they're receiving.
And so it's got a lot of really important information here. If you're on SSI, SSDI, veterans, any part of Social Security, you definitely want to pay attention to everything in this video as it pertains to you. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before we dive into the main content, if you appreciate how I give you the straight up news, let you know the articles, the sources, everything comes from, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more regular updates on Social Security, whether it increases or decreases or something in between. Subscribe to the channel for that. All right, let's get into it here. So when it comes to Social Security, there should never be any talk of Social Security cuts. It makes no sense. There should never be talk of any Social Security decrease, especially with all the promises that lawmakers and politicians have made throughout the years, especially President Biden saying that there was going to be a $200 more per month increase to Social Security. Whatever happened to that promise on his campaign trail? But unfortunately, we're hearing some decrease potentials to Social Security. So let's get into it here. Go over some of the headlines, give you the details. So major cuts to Social Security back on the table. What's being proposed now? So got some shocking headlines that are coming out. Conservatives' budget plan renews battle over seniors' benefits. The Republican Study Committee plan is likely to become a 2024 campaign fodder. Another one here, House Republicans propose higher Social Security retirement age and Medicare privatization. 175-member Republican Study Committee's 2024 budget would also repeal most of the Inflation Reduction Act and spend US dollars on a massive border wall. So yeah, got some big things in there. And then this one, probably the most dramatic one, House GOP's panel budget proposal would destroy Social Security as we know it. It raises Social Security retirement age, cutting benefits across the board while further privatizing Medicare. So what is going on? These headlines are very dramatic, saying that Social Security is going to be cut, benefits are going to be decreased. What is actually going on here? Let me break it down for you, let you know exactly what's going on. So this is going on in the House of Representatives in Congress. So Social Security is being talked about in Congress, but not necessarily increasing Social Security benefits. So a panel comprised of 3/4 of the House Republican caucus released a budget proposal that would raise the Social Security retirement age, cutting benefits across the board, while also privatizing Medicare and slashing taxes for the rich. A plan that Democratic lawmakers and progressive advocacy groups said is a clear statement of the GOP's warped priorities ahead of a critical spending fight this fall. So the proposal, which is right here, this is the official proposal right here for the budget. I'm going to be honest, I didn't read through it, but basically the proposal outlined 175-member Republican study committee, which is the RSC, led by Representative Kevin Hern, would gradually raise Social Security's full retirement age, the age at which people are eligible for Social Security benefits, to 69, up from the current level of 67 for those born in 1960 or later. So if you're on Social Security right now, this is not going to affect you, but I'm really curious what you think. raising the Social Security age to 69 if you're born after 1960. Is this a good idea? Bad idea? What are your thoughts on this? It's in the works. It's a proposal, not official yet. So I just want to make sure you're not getting scared if you are concerned about this. The president of the Social Security Works said RSC budget would destroy Social Security as we know it, using a modest shortfall that's more than a decade away to justify reducing benefits for millions. Also, what the president said is these changes would transform Social Security from an earned insurance benefit, which replaces wages lost in the event of old age, disability, or death, into a subsistence level welfare benefit. And also noted that the RSC proposal rules out any options for raising revenue, such as requiring billionaires to contribute a penny more. So those are the words from the president of Social Security Works, basically saying this is a bad plan and that it is going to reduce Social Security recipients to poverty level wages. If you're on Social Security, you worked decades of your life dedicating to the economy, making the economy as good as it is now, helping my generation and future generations. If you're on disability, you definitely don't deserve to be poor and living below the poverty line. You deserve dignity and you deserve some help from the government, which was promised to you. VA, SSI, all those categories are in the same group of people that deserve the right to Social Security. It was a promise given to us, given to you, and you deserve the most out of it. So with this plan, it is going to decrease Social Security benefits. It is going to raise the age and do a few other things. So what is being done about it? Well, the GOP, House Republicans, 175 members, are saying this is a good plan. It's going to strengthen Social Security over time. Meanwhile, the Democrats are saying this is not a good plan. It's going to hurt Social Security recipients. So I'm really curious what your thoughts are on all of this. When it comes to what the Senate is doing when it comes to Social Security, take a look at Republican Senator Cassidy giving some really important updates and a proposal for Social Security. Don't want to miss this. Watch the entire video of what he says.
Madam President, I ask unanimous consent that Gwen Shelley, an intern in my office, be granted floor privileges until June 13th, 2023.
Without objection.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam President, Social Security is a sacred trust between the American people and the American government. For the worker who's about to retire with no savings other than Social Security, the woman who relies on Social Security to pay for medications, they need to know that the government is not going to break this sacred trust. That's why I've been leading a bipartisan group of over a dozen senators to develop a solution. And we have what we call the big idea. But before describing the big idea, I have to tell you, right now, it does not matter what big ideas or any idea are being discussed. President Biden made it clear in his State of the Union speech that he was going to run for re-election, attacking Republicans on the issue of Social Security. Now, by the way, he's not introduced legislation on Social Security himself. He spoke about one in his previous campaign, but it was not serious. And the money that he said he would use for his unserious plan, he has already spent on other priorities, or at least proposed to spend. President Biden was not even willing to acknowledge the problem that Social Security faces. But in a bipartisan sense, let's be fair, he's not alone. Former President Trump refuses to acknowledge the issue. He never introduced or sought to work with Congress when he was president, and now he criticizes anyone who suggests that Social Security might be going insolvent, but unfortunately for us all, Social Security is going insolvent. It is not me who says this, it is the actuaries, those who are told to come before the American people and tell what is the current state of Social Security. They tell us in 9 years it's going insolvent. At that point, beneficiaries will see a 24% cut in the amount they're receiving. There's no grandfathering in. You may be already receiving, but when that deadline hits 2033, 2032, boom, 24% cut for those who are currently receiving. Poverty among the elderly doubles. And even though it's against the law to borrow money to pay the difference between what is coming in and what is going out, let's imagine that we did. If we do decide to break the law and borrow that money, it would end up causing a $562 trillion debt to pay these benefits over the next 75 years. That would give us a debt to GDP ratio similar to that of Greece and Venezuela. And that is independent of the money that would be required for Medicare benefits and other such benefits. So, what does our big idea do? Our big idea avoids this problem by setting up an investment fund separate from Social Security, no Social Security money whatsoever, an investment fund in which we place money and allow it to grow over 75 years, and in so doing, we address 75% of the issue. We don't raise the retirement age to 70, as people suggest. We don't touch the way Social Security benefits are distributed. We make sure that no one has a disruption in their benefits that they are promised to receive. And in our plan, we have work incentives, and we work to address issues of like WEP and GPO and poverty among the elderly. It's an idea that could work and pass Congress. But there's been zero presidential leadership, and we've had no engagement from this president, and there was no engagement from the previous president. So, a few weeks ago, we decided to take our issue to the people, and we call it Bill on the Hill. Kind of a nice rhyme, huh? I took a walk around the Capitol grounds and spoke to Americans from across the country who were visiting the nation's capital. There was a couple from Louisiana, a family from Pennsylvania, a veteran who was also a pastor from Massachusetts, and several others who gave their unvarnished opinions on what they want Washington to do about Social Security. The bottom line, Americans want to see Social Security saved. We deserve a real solution, not grandstanding.
What are your thoughts on what Senator Senator Cassidy says? Not sure if I said Kennedy before, but do you agree with him, disagree with him? Now, the Republican senators didn't say that they're fully on board with this House of Representatives plan, which is in the House, not the Senate. But it seems that Republicans are sort of on the same board, but they are not going all in terms of saying that there's going to be Social Security cuts. Election is next year, and it seems like they may try to mask it or do something like that. Not really sure, but what are your thoughts on Social Security and the way and these proposals? Excuse me. Let me know your thoughts on that. That is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do. When there's trees, you should think of going outside because there's no air inside unless you have plants. But anyways, there's still air. But outside there's more air for you because the trees help you breathe. So you don't really want to cut down trees unless people are making houses. But there's plenty more around the world. So I wanted to tell you that if in order you're making something, it's okay to cut trees a little bit sometimes, but you shouldn't do it all the time because the trees help you breathe. No trees, you can't breathe. So that's all the advice that I want to tell you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you appreciate how I got straight to the point, let you know exactly what was going on from sources, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more regular Social Security updates on whether it increases or decreases and the latest proposals. And if you want to check out the latest potential increases to Social Security, what could be happening there, what proposals are in Congress, definitely want to click this video link right up here, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.